Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Daily Blues here on 100% Chelsea. All the latest Chelsea talk, Chelsea news, latest discussions. Gonna have the son of Chelsea, Daniel and Louis on tonight. You can say hello, lads.
What's going on?
Right, guys, how you doing?
Right. Good news, Newcastle lost tonight because we're staying up. If that's the only thing we
guys,
can.
I am absolutely buzzing. We are 2 points clear of the relegation zone. I think it's been an amazing weekend. I'm absolutely buzzing. Louis, was that good acting?
What the acting? Nah, it was shit,
The
mate.
acting that I just did. Okay.
Nah, it was awful.
I'm still in a state of depression. I'm losing my mind.
I mean, it's just so bad. It feels like we've been cursed or something. I don't know what's wrong at Chelsea at the moment. We're champions, and we just keep losing game after game now. We can't explain what's wrong with the team. It's just so confusing. Now we got Tel Aviv on Wednesday, and then we've got Arsenal. I don't know. Dan,
I can't see us beating Tel Aviv.
But Lou, all right then. You don't see us beating Tel Aviv.
No, not at this rate. No, I don't.
I mean, look, we're on bad form, but Tel Aviv.
Right,
no
the
disrespect
last
to Tel Aviv, but Tel Aviv.
The last time I had a bad feeling, or the last 2 or 3 times, have I been right? Have I been right?
True.
I am. Nah, I can't just beat Tel Aviv. Genuinely, oh, mate.
It's so bad. And I want to focus this discussion on: is there something wrong, or has something bad happened behind the scenes at Chelsea that we don't know about, or has this just extended from the whole Eva thing, or are we just not fit enough, or I don't know. What's your, I wouldn't say theories, but what do you think is going wrong? Do you think something behind the scenes has happened?
Well, in terms of Eva, I think it might have something to do with Eva, because there was that whole thing that she might be sleeping with a player. And then I was reading.
Yeah.
Sorry, you just go.
Oh no, keep going.
But and then I was also reading on the gossip column that all the players' wives and partners are really annoyed about it, and that was on the Independent. So I have a feeling that maybe it's just stuff. The whole Eva thing was the stem, and it's sort of got the players go home now. What's happening with Eva? You'll have Terry will walk in, speak to his wife, or for the Arsenal fans on here, wives and mistresses, and go there and sort of have all this earache and go back to work, try and find out what's going on. Nothing. It's like, not on this scale, obviously, not on something with this magnitude, but you sort of, with somewhere, if you work somewhere or if you're at school and there's something that's going on behind the scenes, it sort of has an effect. So sort of if my mate Gary had been with a girl called Jeff, I know it's a weird name, but yeah, Jeff Arena, okay?
Oh my god. All right, so Gareth and Jeff.
Jeff Arena. Jesus Christ. Let's just get this straight. Jeff, he didn't break up with Jeff because he found something out which he didn't want to know. Okay, but where's
this going, Louis?
I like to extend my story. Just leave it, all right? They've been going out for 6 months. They break up. Your mate and their friends, you sort of all link together at school because it's one of those school relationships which is really stupid. I hate them. And it sort of all comes together, and there's the friction between everybody.
Yeah.
So which side you're going to take, and I think that's what's happening on the training ground, where everyone's trying to pick a side. And Nick Pashita says I should do a face palm. There we go. Yeah. I think it's sort of having an effect on the training ground.
It's the last thing we need. It
Exactly.
really is the last thing we need. And I don't know. There's 2 things that happened today, right? And one of them happened on the weekend, but it came out today. I don't know if you guys heard about Mourinho swearing at Martinez.
Yeah.
Yes.
Martinez was conducting an interview with I think it was BBC, and Mourinho, you could hear the audio. It was an audio recording, but you could hear Mourinho go up to him and be like, "Hey, Roberto, next time tell me I'm first because we've got to travel, for the interview." And Roberto just said, Martinez just said, "I don't control that. I don't control it." And Mourinho walked off, with an effing hell, and you know, it's just so negative. Everything is just so negative.
And I think it's just all a knock-on effect. There's obviously maybe not either, but there's one thing that's definitely happened, which has caused the whole scenario. But I don't Martinez and that. If Mourinho hadn't said that and it had been Martinez to Mourinho, it wouldn't be picked up.
It wouldn't be yeah, it's true. I mean, Mourinho gets the rough end of the stick, but it's because he's Mourinho and he makes headlines, and newspapers will write anything about Mourinho because they know it will sell papers. But even today, in the last hour, 2 hours, there was allegations which Chelsea have been forced to deny, that John Terry and Diego Costa had a bust-up. Now, I'm not so sure how that can happen because Costa's English really isn't that good. So how are they going to come to a disagreement? The only thing I can picture is a rough tackle on the training ground and one gets wound up.
Most likely Diego, because he could fight his own shadow.
And Diego loves a fight.
I think that it would be on Street Fighter or Tekken. That would be a really, really good thing to watch or play. Diego Costa versus John Terry.
That'd be ridiculous.
I think we should do that. I think we should do that.
Probably the roughest fight you could get. But Chelsea being forced to deny it. Once again, another headline showing that shit's going wrong at Chelsea. I mean, is it Yokohama? Is it really Yokohama?
Oh, don't be stupid. Just be quiet. Just stop talking. Go away, Eunice. Go. Never come back.
Dan, I know, what's your view on it all? Do you think something's wrong backstage?
Maybe. I think Begovic did a good interview today, talking about kind of the confidence in the dressing room currently, and how, of course, when you're losing games, of course that has an effect, and it must have an effect, a negative one. I mean, players losing confidence, and especially considering the amazing high we went on in May to this low. I mean, it's even probably worse. If we'd finished third last year and had this sort of start, it'd be bad. But the fact we've been so good last year, it's probably made this drop even worse. For the players who were serial winners, really. So it's tough to kind of know. I mean, I saw a picture today that apparently John Terry, there's a picture. If you go on my Twitter account, it's on the Twitter. I'll explain the photo so you'll see it if you go on my Twitter. And it's apparently John Terry, after the second goal went in on Saturday, got the ball out of the net, ran to the halfway line, threw it at Costa's feet, and said, "Do something to him." And there's actually a picture on the picture on my Twitter is JT with the ball about to throw it at Costa. So that may have had something to do with it. Of course, Chelsea have denied it, which you expect them to. Also, I think this crisis talk and all of that at the moment, a lot of stories are going to be made up more as much as with Chelsea, everything is scrutinised already. Everything gets scrutinised to the max because we're in a bad period. I think that it probably makes it 10 times worse. So every little sign of that makes something worse, makes it will get escalated and people will add stuff to it. It's like Chinese whispers. John Terry and Diego had a little bit of a disagreement in the training ground. Suddenly it's a bust up.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot of that. I do understand what Louis is saying. There is. I have been involved in places where something will go on. I wouldn't describe the story Louis is describing. I think it's more like maybe something a managerial position where something's going wrong, or someone's had a falling out with someone, and something along those lines. So it must be having an effect, and it's tough to kind of explain in a moment. It really is. It's just so difficult to kind of in some way analyze, because I think before Saturday we could kind of tell what it's like. You're kind of losing hope at the moment, because my worry is, like, we talk about like the big kind of issue of Ivanovic at the moment, and you just think he's going to be played every game, and there's like no chance of that stopping, and like that's my biggest worry. We'll find out on Wednesday. I think that Wednesday, we're lucky we've got a game on Wednesday, because I think we've got a chance to try and get some form back in some way against an opponent. I mean, it's literally like England when they play against, those dead European qualifiers that we're supposed to win.
Yeah.
It's like that to me. It's like that's the game on Wednesday. You'd expect the quality of Tel Aviv to be better than that because it's Champions League. So I'm not ruling anything out of our form at the moment, but I think it could be a good game. I'm interested to see who Jose puts in the team because I think does he stick with the exact same team he has today on Saturday and try and get some of the form of that team back for Saturday, or does he completely change it up? For me, I'd make changes, clear ones. Maybe I'd probably bring in Falcao, as I said on Saturday. Of course, that change has to be made in defence. There's like no alternative to it. It just has to be made because I think that's a big issue for us at the moment. And I think if you can change that round, I'm not saying it solves all of our problems, of course not, because there are still many players out of form, but I think it fills a big hole, that's for sure. And I think everyone agrees with that because over half of our goals we've conceded this season have come from that side. And you've got to fix that because that's a massive gap and it's affecting the whole defence. So I think if you can fix that side of the defence, then you fix one side. It's interesting to see also the conundrum for Jose, who he puts in that midfield, and does he go with Oscar or Fabregas in number 10? Because as I've said many times now, Fabregas for me is not good enough in a defensive midfielder role. You've got to find someone to put in there instead.
Well, I mean, just really quickly, sorry, that bust-up rumour apparently came from Stan Collymore.
Oh yeah, of course. Okay, right. Let's just forget it.
I
love Talk Sport. I love it. Love listening to it. It's brilliant. When I'm working at school, just stick it on. Off I go. It's brilliant. But Stan Collymore, with a history that you have, I don't think I'm going to listen to you. Just put that
out there. Yeah, I mean, I don't trust the guy. So no, there has been no bust up. You can rest assured, everyone.
I just like to point something out. I've just seen something about the Lord, which I think is brilliant. Draw my face. Johan Obi-Wan Mikel Obi. I love it. I love it.
With Mourinho. Now, we're obviously trying to bring up all these different theories and what's going on with Chelsea. He has a pretty simple explanation. And his explanation is something that no one really wants to believe, but his suggestion is true. It's literally coincidence that every single mistake we're doing, we're getting punished. Every single mistake we make on the pitch, it turns into a goal. Every time we give the ball away, it turns into a goal, or something. He even mentioned that everything is going against us, that before the game, they wanted to do a tactical meeting, the computer broke.
I think that's just sod's law, isn't it? Well, everything that's going wrong with me is just going wrong.
I'm getting like people who don't support Chelsea, of course, are throwing this stuff at me about Jose of what he says. I don't believe for a second of what he's talking about.
No,
and I hope because what is he going to do? He's going to come out and go, yeah, we're playing absolutely awful at the moment. Ivanovic is the worst right back in the league.
Exactly.
What am I supposed to do? If you're a manager, if you're a smart manager, you don't come out and say that sort of stuff. You keep it in-house. You don't release it. Because what's he supposed to do? He goes two ways. He goes one way and he goes, yeah, there's nothing wrong, and he looks like deluded Brendan. And then he goes the other way and then he looks like Tim Sherwood, after we beat Spurs 4-0. And then you get criticised both ways. So I think Jose, if he's putting on an act in those interviews and what he says to the press and is doing what we all hope he's doing, which is really getting into the players, making those decisions behind the scenes now that all of us are so clearly, evidently can see, then I think I'm fine with, what he's saying in the media, because he's just trying not to create even more of a crisis by talking about how bad we've been playing. So, I wouldn't completely believe what he's saying.
It's true. I don't think he believes what he's saying. And it's clear as day that he knows that we know he's chatting crap. And it's for a reason. As you said, he's not going to come out and say, yeah, Branislav is a disaster. Fabregas can't pass a ball. We're playing absolutely dog shite. He can't do that. And if he were to do that, he'd probably get sacked. He'd be like, you're bringing scrutiny to the team in front of the whole world. I think he's just protecting his players, as he always does through thick and thin. He will just protect his players and absorb all the pressure onto himself. Now, no one, well, people are talking about how bad we are. But in terms of the media, if you realise, a lot of people are talking about Mourinho and his comments and the way he's handling things more than our performance. So I think that is what he wants. That is what he wants. But Lou,
Yeah.
with the whole Mourinho and the way he's trying to put things across, do you think he believes what he's saying? Do you think he's just protecting his players?
I think it's a bit of both. I don't know. Like, we were talking about he had that air of arrogance, which some people like and some people hate.
Yeah.
At the minute, it's one thing I really don't like. I think he's trying to protect his players, but part of me also thinks, like, if I'm looking at it from a neutral perspective, he is being completely stupid. Like, he should sort of say, there is something bad happening, but the way he sort of goes, we played really well, we deserved this, we deserved that, when we didn't. That's what annoys me. I mean, I completely agree that he's trying to defend his players, saying, they work hard, they do this, they do that. It's great if you work hard in training, but if you can't deliver on the pitch, what's the point in playing?
Yeah.
Like, what I was saying about Ivanovic was sort of the whole sort of, he was always tucking in and all that sort of stuff. If Mourinho's not noticing that in a situation with, in a match situation, but in training, Ivanovic has managed to take on, let's think of under 21s player really easily. That's great. Well done you. But if you can't keep hold of Montero, Balassi, Sterling, try and go through other left wingers. Help me out here. 5 teams played. Miralas, Naismith. That's the biggest.
Alexis. Oh no, we haven't played them.
No, we ain't played Alexis yet.
We haven't played them yet. Sorry.
But if you look at the Community Shield, they didn't even have Alexis Sanchez.
He didn't even play in the Community Shield. That's what I'm saying. We haven't played them yet.
I know, exactly. And look how bad he was in the Community Shield, and we all just thought it was a blip.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where, yeah.
No, I was thinking about this, like, and of the whole kind of bad thing, and I saw a good tweet, and I know people say, well, it's not a positive. I don't know who, I retweeted it earlier, and it was kind of about the whole kind of, I want to talk a little bit, if that's okay, Eunice, about the fan base currently.
Yeah, sure.
Because I believe at the moment, from what I saw on Saturday, and it's not I wouldn't say it's a majority, just a lot of people. I find it very fascinating whenever we go through a bad period. I think Louis is frozen at the moment, if I'm right. That's
No, I'm just very, I'm in the zone.
No, he looks surprised for a minute. Anyway, basically, I think it's very interesting when we go through a bad period, the reactions of people to Jose out, and I find it.
Please tell me you're not about to say you're not in the Jose out brigade, are you?
No.
Jesus Christ!
Woo! No. I find it very fascinating. Like, and people were saying, like, the retweet. Someone I follow on Twitter, and he puts on some really good tweets, and he said, listen, like, the only positive thing about this bad run of results is we'll see who the real true Chelsea fans are, and they'll probably go and support City. And, like, I don't want people in our fan base who are like that, and the great photo that's always put up after we lose by people on Twitter: if you can't support us when we win, don't. If you can't support us when we lose, don't support us when we win. And it's like, that is so true. And I think now we're learning how privileged we are to be Chelsea fans. Like, going through this bad period. I mean, there are clubs who go through this period every year. Like, go through this every single week. And, like, I'm not saying for one set. I know people in the comments will be going, "You're making excuses," and no, that's not what I'm saying. As you know, and as we talked. Look at my channel, look at the videos I put up, look at the stuff we talked about on Saturday. I'm not by any way going, no, it's absolutely fine, us losing. No, it's nothing to do with that. I'm just saying, some of the stuff I see is like, it's quite interesting the way people react to these sort of things, and saying Jose Mourinho, a manager who won us the league, what was it, only 3 or 4 months ago, like, lifted the Premier League. So
people have very short memories in football nowadays.
In football, it is so literally short. And I was thinking, I'd still rather I think we're in a better position right now than Liverpool are, and I'll tell you why. because Brendan Rodgers for 2 or 3 years now has been making the same mistakes over and over again.
Yeah.
And I can bet that we're probably going to still finish above Liverpool right now. And people will go, "Oh, you're being ludicrous." And I think we will, because I think our squad's better. We've got a better manager. We've got to stick with our manager. What's the point of getting rid of a manager? There's just no point. We're in a worse position if we get rid of Jose. But as I said, it's a small minority, a very, very small minority of people. And I wish if those people have that kind of short-sightedness about football, go and support someone who wins every week. Jump on the bandwagon of someone who wins. Go and support Bayern. Go and support Barca. Don't support Chelsea, because to me it's like everyone's entitled to their opinion, of course, but to me it just seems so short-sighted and fickle for me to one of the greatest manager that's ever managed this club, and one of the greatest managers in world football, who won us the Premier League and has brought us so many happy days, that why would you turn your back on him now? I just wanted to put that out there, because it was something that was on my chest, and I was thinking about. It's just, that's what I want to say. But luckily we don't have like a Wenger in, Wenger out brigade. We don't have that, because Jose, it's only 3 or 4 games. It's not seasons of mistakes. That's.
I love it. It's funny because it's true.
Yeah. No, but I totally agree with that. It might actually be a good thing slightly, as you mentioned. The fans who are here, on the bandwagon because we've been winning, finally get to hop off. If you can't see us lose and stick by us when we're losing, then you can go and join Manchester City. But
yeah, they won't do that though, because when they get approached and someone actually says it to them, they'll be squirming in their seat and go, "No, I support Chelsea." Oh, yeah, definitely.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes, and I think this in regards to the players, and I've said this before. Sometimes you need, and as fans as well. Sometimes you need to go through bad times to appreciate the good.
Of course.
And I think that the season we won the season that Champions League year we won the Champions League was no kind of that was the best definition of it. Because we went through that awful period of just losing to all our big rivals, at home to Liverpool, at home to Arsenal, at home to, I think we lost so many games, under AVB, your best mate Eunice, and I think, and look how that season turned out,
won the Champions League.
So you've got, of course, we changed manager, but let's be honest, Jose Mourinho is a completely different manager. The best managers have to go through these periods. All great managers go through tough periods, and it's how they react and it's how they compose themselves in this sort of situation. I'm kind of contradicting myself a minute ago, because I said don't believe everything Jose says, but believe him when he says he's not going to leave Chelsea, because I believe that comes from the heart, because he knows what happened last time and he doesn't want to replicate it.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying things can change very quickly in football.
They can do, and remember, as we've been saying, and as Jose's made it clear, he wants to settle down this time in London and stay here, for a long time. So, it's not like before. He wants to settle down. He wants to stick around.
I wouldn't blame him. I can't wait to meet his daughter.
Not if I get there first. Anyway.
Shut up, Eunice.
Anyway.
She's a year younger than me, Jimmy. Chill out.
No. With this whole issue, and us playing so badly. Remember, this is Mourinho, and Mourinho said it. This is the first time in his career he's hit this sort of level. Such a low level where we're playing so bad after 5 games. It's Chelsea's worst start since 1988. I mean, we're at a completely different stage than where we should be. So, yeah, it's a good experience for Mourinho, and let's see how he fixes it. But he is the man to fix it, I reckon. And I want to point out the chair of the Chelsea Supporters Trust, or the chairman of the Chelsea Supporters Trust, came out and gave all support and all backing to Jose today, and claimed that the whole Supporters Trust is still 100% behind Mourinho and behind the club. Let's just get back onto things and onto winning and try and just sort this problem out. Really, no need to say Jose out, because if he does leave, who do we get?
The only manager we could get.
Jurgen Klopp.
No. The only manager currently, and I don't even think we get him because of the way we treated him last time, would be Carlo Ancelotti. That's the only manager who, in my mind, could in some way match up to Jose. Could only sort of replace him, and I don't think we get him because of what happened last time and the situations that led to him leaving, and the getting sacked after the Everton game, and I think things went quite sour after that. But I don't even want to think about that at the moment, because Jose Mourinho's our manager. Why are we thinking about a new manager? That's so small-minded. It's just so ridiculous. And as you said, Eunice, it's like we're supporters for a reason. And as I say, and I don't want to get too dramatic about it because we're only five games in. I know it's been an awful 5 games in Chelsea standards, but it's not like the end of the world. And I'm thinking to myself, why am I supporting Chelsea? I just, you just watch a video of the Champions League final and you start to get a little bit more positive, and then you realise, we won the Premier League. We've got such brilliant players in our team, and we've got a great manager. I'm thinking listen, we can recover this. We've been in worse situations, in my opinion, with squads. We've had worse players.
I just thought someone else can get in.
Sorry, say again.
I thought someone else who could come in if I know Ancelotti's brilliant in that, but I just thought of the perfect man. I don't think Mourinho will go, and I don't want him to, but this man would fix everything for us. John Cena.
Oh my God, he's become the new Rick Roll of the internet.
I love it. I love it. No, did you see the Shrek one? In the second one where they're pulling the chicken or whatever it is. It goes, Shrek, Fiona, Harold, whatever her name is, and where it goes Donkey Knowledge, it goes John Cena. It's brilliant. I love it.
Oh my God.
It's getting bad when we start resorting to talk about wrestling.
No, Eunice's mind. He loves wrestling. That is like Eunice's football and wrestling. That is it.
It's not bad. No, but in terms of Jose, as we've all said, we stick by him. As you said as well, we're supporters for a reason. So we've been through much worse times, a lot worse times. You're looking back at the 90s and before Roman came, and it was bad. Stamford Bridge about to get sold, and it was just a complete disaster. We've been through much worse times, so let's just go with it. Someone in the comments did say, if this was AVB, I'd be losing my mind right about now.
You'd be doing what I did against Palace.
Yeah, I would, and I have.
No, but can I just, Eunice, can I just the fact is, AVB, I personally didn't want him out of the club till about January or February, because by that point it was getting quite ridiculous, because it was getting to a point of no return. And you're comparing AVB to AVB went from started the season okay-ish, and it just got worse and worse and worse, and there was no signs of improvement. There was absolutely we would have got knocked out of the Champions League by Napoli. We wouldn't have won the FA Cup that year. We would have been worse off, and we finished 6th in the table, which is not good for our standards, but at the same time, I think we could have even finished lower with AVB, in truth. So that's different standards. The reason you were ranting about AVB was because it was after an Everton game in about February, when you'd had weeks and months of absolute just diabolical management, awful results. This is 5 games in, and as we said, we were annoyed on Saturday. Trust me, we all were. We were all so frustrated, but it's not to that sort of level, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true, and there's a major difference.
AVB's wizard. You've got Lord Mikel, you've got Wizard Villas-Boas, because he's such an amazing manager. He did so well in Portugal, and now he's doing really well in Russia.
Which he's about to leave.
I love it. It's brilliant.
But no, we're
going to go Portsmouth.
Well, who knows? Probably Brighton and Hove Albion. I don't know.
Oh, well.
With AVB, he came into the club, and I liked it when he got signed up. When Roman decided to choose AVB, I was like, all right, nice one. We're taking the young route, someone who's fresh, who's got fresh ideas. Great. He worked under Mourinho, fantastic. And then he turned into a complete nut job. The thing with AVB, as you said, it was just constantly going wrong every week, and he just wouldn't give any indication, any interview. He'd always be like, yeah, no, we played really well. Even though we got battered just now, but we played really well. No, we didn't. And that was going up until what? Yeah, as you said, January, February, way too much. Mourinho has proven what he can do at Chelsea already. He's proven that he loves Chelsea, and he's proven that he'll go through thick and thin for Chelsea. So that's more important. You know, if we have someone loyal who's struggling compared to someone who just wants quick success and just be like, yeah, you know, I don't really care about the club. I'm just looking at it as a stepping stone. That's not the way to go.
Which is what everyone thought. Well, Abramovich wasn't. Let's be honest. Abramovich was like that at the beginning, where it was sort of, we need to have success every season. Need doing this.
Yeah.
And then he realised, you know what? No, I want to build a dynasty here. I want to, you know, really work hard and create something. And he is doing that now. He's bringing a manager who, you know, who wants to be up there with the Fergusons and, hate to say it, the Wengers in terms of how long they've been at a club.
Of course.
But, you know, it's brilliant.
No, of course. And remember, if you're going to look at someone who's trying to build a dynasty or, you know, a legacy, you know, over years, you're not going to be winning every year. That's certain. You're not going to be winning every year. Alex Ferguson, who won the treble in '99, found himself in 2004, 2003, around that time, he found himself finishing third, practically, you know, 2 seasons on the bounce. So it's, you know, a manager's going to stick around, but you're not going to be winning all the time. I just hope that gets into everyone's minds. You know, yes, it's been a sudden transformation from champions to complete rubbish. You know, fighting for relegation at the moment, but it'll get better. It'll get better, I reckon. How better? I'm not so sure. And whether we're going to win the league this year, again, I'm not so sure. But that leads me on to my next question. If we have to, would you do what we did in 2012 and sacrifice the league title and go for the league to pursue the Champions League once again?
No, because you're not guaranteed the Champions League, are you? And
No.
if Chelsea don't hit top 4, I hate to say it, that would be Mourinho gone. That would be.
But hey, I mean, no, to be fair, and Mourinho's admitted this, top 4 is the objective every single season.
God, we sound like Arsenal fans.
Not winning the league, it's always top 4. Apparently, what Roman has come to terms with, unlike before,
No,
please stop saying that.
No, Eunice, no.
Stop saying that. Don't say the target is top 4.
We may be 2 points above the relegation zone, but we are not at that level of mediocrity yet, Eunice. We are not there.
No.
Stop.
Listen.
We won a European Cup, for God's sake. No, we don't go for that sort of mediocrity.
No, Dan, you're starting to sound like a Liverpool fan if we're talking about top 4 in European Cup.
No.
Oh no.
But,
sorry.
I'm gonna relax. Let me explain it. Okay.
You better have some good explanation.
Before, all right, Roman would say, "I want the league." If you're not going to win the league, you're gone, right? This time, Jose. This is what Jose said. Okay, this is from his mouth. Is Roman's happy as long as we're fighting for titles? And if we're fighting for titles, even if we do miss out, if we're there and we're fighting it to the end, you're not going to win every year. You know. So yes, to find ourselves outside the top 4 wouldn't be fighting for it. So yeah, he would get sacked. That's my point.
There you go then. That's the 100% Chelsea point.
There we are.
That's literally what I just said. You're reinforcing it. Okay, great.
So you, I mean, Dan, would you, if it got to the point where we knew we're not going to win the league, that's it, it's done. Would you focus on the Champions League?
Maybe, because if we get to that sort of situation in like January, February, you know, like we did last time. And I think to be honest, last time we kind of found ourselves in that sort of situation. You know, we sacked ABB after the Napoli first leg, and kind of the title was gone by about Christmas. I think after Christmas, about Boxing Day, I think it was, we drew to like Fulham, and I think at that point we all kind of sat back and thought, yeah, I think we had a kind of a dodgy Christmas period. I actually remember losing to Aston Villa, I think at home. It was in that Christmas period as well. So we really just fell so adrift of United, who under Ferguson really get better after the Christmas, and you know they kind of were getting better results as the weeks went on. So yeah, it kind of became. I don't think Chelsea sat there and aimed the Champions League, of course, as we know it. But I think after that second leg against Napoli, it changed. but it kind of fell to Di Matteo. He had those games against Napoli, the game against Birmingham in the FA Cup replay that he won 2-0. You know, it kind of just fell to him kind of that way, and you know that's how it panned out. It'd be interesting to see how this works. If we can get back to some form in the next couple of weeks, and in November we're back in that top 4, you know, maybe 8 points behind City, you know, you shouldn't give up the title, you know. Even I'd say 10 points, you don't give up the title, you know, because things can change so quickly. Aguero apparently is now injured, if I'm right, or he's close to be. Apparently he got a knock on Saturday, I believe.
Yes.
And you know, City can also, I think, have David Silva out. So you know, as I'll continue to say, things can change quickly in football. City, they've got their game against Juventus tomorrow night. That's a massive game for them because the Champions League for them, as much as they are doing well in the league, you know, it has to become a priority for them. They have to do better in it. They have to get past the last 16 now.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
that could take something out of them, especially with Aguero, who seems to miss about 6 weeks in a season, literally every year. You know, he seems to. They coped last time without Aguero when they won the league last time because they had Negredo, they had Dzeko, who would get those goals. They don't have those 2 players now, so it'll be interesting to see what they do.
They've only got, sorry to interrupt.
well-
They've only got Boney now, haven't they? They haven't
Yeah,
got
I mean, Boney hasn't really. I mean, it's tough for Boney because he doesn't really get in that team. You know, if Aguero is playing, and you know, it'd be interesting to see if Aguero does go out for a period of time, how Wilfred Boney would kind of bring into that. He's clearly a brilliant player, and he clearly knows where the back of the net is. So, of course, he's never going to be to the level of Aguero because Aguero is absolutely world class. You know, and Boney's a really good striker, but he isn't in the level of Aguero. So, clearly, Aguero, you're missing something, but. It'll be interesting to see. I think if we are, as I say, if we're in near to Christmas, just before Christmas, maybe in November, and we are 8, maybe 10 or 8 points behind City, and we've recovered some form, of course you're not giving up the title. Why would you do that? Because
Of course. Yeah.
you know, it's still months.
I think what you're saying, I think the Champions League would take it out of City, which is what we need. Let's be honest. Well, they're flying. I remember. I think we were sat in the studio, and I remember saying, "I hope we just don't do a City. I hope we just don't do a City."
Yeah, it's true. That was the fear. Yeah.
And it's happened. As it stands right now, it's happened. So I'm panicking just a little bit.
Yeah.
But we need City to slip up somewhere, and they normally do that around the Christmas period, right? Am I? It's like
They usually what happen. I mean, it's weird with City this year because they've done what they usually don't do. I mean, City don't usually dominate a league, and we're only 5 games in, so we don't know what they're going to do for the next 5 and next 20 games. You know, we don't know what they're going to do for those games, but you know, it'd be interesting to see what they do. But I think that's usually the case. They usually do stumble here and there, and you know, loss of form, a few injuries, you know, can change everything. I'm going to sound like a footballer here, but we've really got to just focus on what we're doing at the moment. You know, I'm going to
you just need to sound really, really, really stupid.
Yeah,
Most of them have the IQ of a goldfish, but they're really, really good with this.
You sound like Michael Owen. Go on.
Yeah. No, sound like Michael Owen. It's like if you wanted to sound like
he got the ball and he put it in the back of the net.
He got the ball.
He go ahead.
He got the ball and he put it in the back of the net with his foot. He scored an absolutely amazing goal with his feet right there.
If Everton score another one, they'll be 2-0 up. You know, I mean, that's the sort of analysis you get from Michael Owen.
He even said at one point, he looks like a footballer, doesn't he?
Depay, wasn't it? Mate.
Like, what? What were we watching, golf? Nah, fair play. Guys, just to let you guys know, leave your comments on in the chat on what you think. Do you think there's anything going behind the scenes at Chelsea at the moment? What do you put it down to in terms of this dip of form? Now, before I get to the comments, I just want to say, what's been mentioned a lot in the comments is Tony, and I'm going to address it now. It's unfortunate, but Tony is going to be focusing on his channel because he started up a new channel. And he's going to be focusing on that a lot more. Not to say that he won't ever come on 100% Chelsea again, but he's not practically a regular on here now. But if you do want to follow him, you can go and follow him on his channel. That's no problem at all. But never say never. He can come back. Fingers crossed. But he will be focusing on his own channel for now. So best of luck to Tony. We wish you the best. And we'll keep in touch for sure. But in terms of what's going on at Chelsea, please do leave your comments. First thing I want to mention is we're 11 points behind now. It's, as I said last time on Daily Blues, it's very hard to come back from 11 points behind. And I know it's 5 games in, but do you think we can do it?
Honestly,
Yeah.
no.
Cool.
But we all know I'm the pessimist. Let's be honest. We all know that. No, I can't see us doing it. The way we're playing at the minute, like I'm saying, I can't even see us beating Maccabi Tel Aviv, let alone Manchester City and Arsenal. Let alone. I can't. You know what? I'm gonna be as pessimistic as to say, and I will get slaughtered for this, but I don't care. This is, well, I do care because I know I'm going to get slaughtered and I don't want it to happen. But I have a horrible feeling it will happen. That was completely worded wrong. I am very sorry for that. I can't see where our next point is going to come from.
It's bad. I just don't know when is it going to change. Now, bear in mind, Oscar apparently will be back.
Oh, okay, right, all right. If we're doing
that's for Tel Aviv, by the way.
We have missed him. I think we didn't really have that creative number 10. Fabregas had a good 10 for opening 10 minutes, didn't he? And we were saying that, and then he just became a passenger. I just have it. Mourinho is too stubborn, and I was saying this before. He's too stubborn.
Yeah.
He's just.
So do you think it's been stubborn, or do you think he has too much faith?
Both.
In a certain 11, like he's
Both.
going. You know what? If they play one more time, it might work because they're champions. Do you think it's a bit of that?
I think it's a bit of both, but mainly I think it's the whole sort of he's too stubborn. He sticks with the same players too often.
Yeah.
And Ivanovic his legs are gone. He's not the same player. He's not a right back. That is that. Completely. Fabregas, I have a feeling he will only learn if he gets dropped. But I have a feeling that if he gets dropped, he'll kick up a fuss and he'll go, "Why aren't I playing? Why aren't I doing this?" All this sort of rubbish, which is what I think Mourinho might be worried about. I think Costa just needs a rest. I just think he feels there's a lot of pressure on him, and then either that or he just needs a different style of play.
He needs a tranquilizer, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, there is that too. But I still stand by. I think the whole thing is rooted behind the scenes with Eve Canera. That's what I think it's all about. That's my opinion on it all.
Yeah. It could be Dan.
It's very hard to say at the moment. I do agree with Louis. Like, you think, where is our next point going to come from realistically? On the form we're showing and the fact that probably the quality of the Premier League, any team can score against us. Any team can probably get something from the game. I think it's fundamental. I think we're going to see on Wednesday where Jose stands. For me, I think it's big. That right back position for me is absolutely key. If because that's a starting point. As I said earlier, there are other parts in the team that need fixing, but that's where you start because that's the biggest hole that he's got to fill in the team, because that's where all of the goals we are conceding from, that's our biggest problem. So you put Azpilicueta in there. I keep on asking, is Babarama at all fit? People are telling me different things. People are telling me he can't play. Some people are telling me he is fit. So if he is fit, for me, he has to be on that team sheet on Wednesday. Terry's got to be in that team, because I think that's the best way for Babarama to start his Chelsea career alongside John Terry at that left back position. Also putting Azpilicueta out on that right back, I think will help us a lot with pace and just the fact that he's a better defender at that currently in form. I think that's a massive starting point. As I say, after that, then you move into central midfield, which I think it does become a little bit more tricky because, as Louis was saying, with Fabregas and all of that. For me, yeah, if I was manager, of course I'd make a massive statement. I'd drop both Ivanovic and Fabregas, and I'd bring in. You either put Loftus-Cheek alongside Matic, or you bring in Ramirez alongside Matic, but you definitely, for me, put in Oscar in at number 10 position and see what he does. And I'd put Falcao up front, as I said earlier. I'd probably keep the same wingers, because I don't think we should change all 11, because it'd be cool to bring in a load of young players, but you bring in the right young players, and a Loftus-Cheek for me. I don't know what it is. I just think Loftus-Cheek for me just deserves a chance to start.
I agree.
Yeah.
And what if he starts on? And I just think Jose would. I think Jose would earn a lot of praise on Wednesday if he took out Ivanovic put in Azpilicueta, put in Babarahman, put Loftus-Cheek alongside Matic and played Oscar. You know,
I think the whole stadium would just I don't know. It just needs. It feels
It
like
needs change to be able to get everyone so excited. If we were
exactly.
in the stadium and we saw Oscar starting, Loftus-Cheek is starting, Kennedy is starting, Ivanovic is dropped, everyone would be like,
I think
brilliant.
I think for me it would just
no,
be Ivanovic drops, and I'd be like, right,
yeah.
this is brilliant.
I think because it's a massive problem, and you know, it's where we're conceding our goals, and you know, I think in a way as I was saying about England, you know, when England play these sort of teams, I know Tel Aviv doesn't play England, but you know, they're Champions League team, so they should play better. They should be a little bit better because they're a team and a club. But I think if we can win convincingly on Wednesday, you know, get that team, start playing some nice football, score about 5 goals, because I don't think it's out of our reach, because you know, the quality of a team like Tel Aviv, which we should be bashing in 5 goals. You know, Falcao gets a couple, Hazard gets on the score sheet. You know, we look solid at the back. I know it's not against good opposition, but winning counts, and what they say, winning breeds winning. You know, it's like the W is against the result is the biggest thing, and you know, that's only going to help confidence. Then you move into Saturday. Now, say if the team I would play on Wednesday, say Loftus-Cheek, will Jose go out and play the exact same team on Saturday? That's the big question.
That's what I don't think he'll do.
That's the big, massive question. But then again, why it seems like suicide to take out Ivanovic, who hasn't been playing well, take him out for a Tel Aviv game, bring in Azpilicueta and Babarahman, and then on the Saturday, bring back Ivanovic for a massive, for our biggest game of the season. You know, every game is becoming the biggest game of the season because of the way we're playing. But you know, I think we're lucky, as I said, we are lucky we've got a game on Wednesday, because we have time to try and get some form back before Saturday, try and figure out where the problems are, try and get a little bit of rhythm going in our game, bring in players like Oscar and Loftus-Cheek, you know, try and work out something, because we've got to do it quick before Saturday, because that is an absolutely key game in our season.
That's very true. To get to the comments, Sumya has put a very good comment here, saying to win the league, you need to win 25 to 28 matches. So be positive, guys. We will be back stronger than ever. Now, we've already played 5 of the 38, right? So we're left with 33 games. And going by their stats, 25 to 28, we practically can't afford to slip up for the rest of the season. That leaves us in quite a position, don't you think?
Basically, we're going to be the Invincibles.
Yeah, for the remainder of the season, we have to stay invincible to win the league.
It also matters what Man City do, though, and what the teams around us do. Because if he's going off the basis of what we did last season, sure, that's a team that dominates the Premier League. If we're talking about the season before that, seasons where it's been quite tight and it's like a couple points at the top and teams are losing 3 or 4, 5 games and they're still winning the league. So say if City in the past have lost about 5 or 6 games in a season and they're still winning in the league, then it changes. The whole structure changes, because teams, which I think could happen this year, because the quality of teams in the Premier League has stepped up, you know, with the TV money. That's really changed the way a lot of teams, and the quality of the teams lower down in the league. It's changed the whole system. So every game now is so tough. I mean, we said it before, it was kind of another cliche, but really is now, because you're just coming against quality players. You know, the amount of depth in some of these teams. You know, you look at West Ham tonight. I mean, the quality they have on their bench. You know, Dimitri Payet. You know, what a player. You know, he's playing for West Ham, and you think he's good enough to play for any top 4 club probably, and maybe feature, or maybe not getting their starting lineup, but you know, featuring that team heavily. And you know, you look, the fact they're not even you know, Andy Carroll, who he's not a great player, but you know, he's on their bench and he was like one of their main strikers. You know, so it shows the level of depth these teams have. The same with the likes of Swansea, the likes of Crystal Palace. You know, like those types of teams. So it shows you that every game is going to be more difficult. So I probably do see the champions this year, whoever they turn out to be, will probably lose about 3 or 4 or 5 games. I know it doesn't look realistic at the moment with the way City are going, and you probably see City will probably win on Saturday against West Ham at home because of the form they're in. But I'm going to paint out a ridiculous, deluded scenario. But say, for instance, we win on Saturday and City drop points. You know, I'll just paint that picture in my head. You know, I know Louis looking there going like, no, this ain't gonna happen. You know, why are you being
You
so
know,
deluded, Daniel?
you know me. You know me.
Like, like I'm trying to be some sort of deluded positive here. Which
Exactly.
doesn't mean I'm a scout. No, it
You're
doesn't mean I'm a
tight.
scouser. So calm
No,
down.
no, no, no. You're
Calm
being
down.
you're 100% Chelsea's tie, and I'm Claude right now. I'm just going.
No.
I'm not a Claude
No,
wannabe. I want to put that out
no,
there,
because
but you know,
I don't dress
in
like
terms of
no, I don't
positivity and
dress like a
negativity.
7-year-old. No, I don't dress like a 7-year-old. I don't have the
Oh,
merchandise. I'm not the merchandise man.
Shots
I'm not the
fired. Shots
merchandise.
fired.
That's not shots fired. That's
but
what I used to do when I was 7, wear all the kit, and like when I was 7 years old, like we all do. But I'm not like that. No, I'm not trying to be deluded. I'm just saying, as I've said many times, say if that scenario plays out, say if we win on Saturday against Arsenal, massive win, and City drop points, and I'm just putting out there a beautiful scenario that may probably not come true, but I'm just putting it out
No,
there.
no, listen, don't get me wrong, and this is where I've always said there's one positive thing of us being in this situation, is that the only way is up. And for City, at the moment, the only way, well, unless they keep winning for a couple of games, but they will come down. And it will all start when, for example, they let in their first goal. Because they're so high up right now, they're letting their first goal, and everyone will be like, wow, City just conceded. Okay. And then they'll draw a game, and they'll be like, oh, wow, City didn't win that one, did they? And then it will just begin. They will have a dip. They will have a dip, but it's down to us to capitalize on that dip. Got to keep winning.
I don't know anymore. I just don't know.
But it has to start somewhere. I just hope it don't start too late, really.
Yeah.
Lixon CFC says Ivanovic needs a new song, and he will find his form. We should start singing a new song. Any suggestions?
Go home, Ivanovic. Go home, Ivanovic. Go home, Ivanovic. Go home, Ivanovic.
What's his? That's harsh.
Your legs have really gone. Your legs have really gone.
No. What's his? The song is that he's got is the
Ivanovic. No, I don't know why I'm even singing it.
Chelsea's number 2, and I don't know. Maybe now we should just add on the bench to that.
Ivanovic is on the bench. Ivanovic is on the bench. Ivanovic.
Or something, I don't know. But right, there is more. Chelsea Boy 3112 says we have to pray that the shit referees of the Premier League get bribed by Arsenal to make City lose.
Why are we? Oh no, we're relying on Arsenal. We're relying. This day is just getting worse and worse and worse.
We're
You sound like a gooner saying you want top 4, and Daniel saying he's a scouser going, yeah, we've won the Champions League and we're going to finish in the top 4.
No,
and then I've just some guy tweet me saying, have you defected to West Ham because they're wearing a claret and blue polo?
No. If I start claiming that every Chelsea goal against us is offside and it's clearly not, and I start sounding like Jimmy Little, then you can start to call me a deluded scouser.
No, I love it. If we were to become Liverpool fully and fully ingrained in that, we should have gone after James Milner. Although, if I'm honest, that's not a player I wouldn't mind having James Milner on a team because he is that box-to-box midfielder. He's like a cheap, boring version of Pogba.
But that's the problem. He's a cheap, boring version.
But he does a job, doesn't he? He's like,
to be fair,
I know he's got nothing to do with Chelsea now because he's a Liverpool player. But in terms of James Milner, he's one of those players like he's a player you need in a team. Like, I know right now everyone's going, City don't need him. Yeah, City don't need him now. But if you think about how he was operating last year, he just kept, he was like, if you're with a car, you've always got a bit of lubricant. That's what James Milner was. He just lubricated the machine and just kept it going. And it's a player like that we need. We just need a player that can keep things ticking over.
That's true.
Even if it is that they just get a job. And we wouldn't have to spend 85 million. We could have got him for free. But
Well, we live and learn. Chelsea Boy 3112 says Chelsea were unbeaten in 23 games before we lost our first game to Newcastle last year. We're only 5 games in, believe. Fair point. Daniel agrees. Mr. Positive.
The deluded Scouser agrees.
Clone Trooper Commander Doom.
Calm down.
Clone Trooper Commander Doom says, all we need is to pull off a decent run and see what happens. Let's have a bit of hope. Now, this is where Mourinho also said that if we get on a run and we win 2 games in a row, it will all be good again. We just need a bit of confidence, and that comes from winning. So, Tel Aviv Arsenal, maybe? Daniel's like, yeah.
Be positive.
No, I'm going. I need a drink. No.
Be positive, man. Saturday's going to be a big day. Saturday's going to be a big day. Eunice.
Louis has lost it.
No, Saturday's going to be a massive day, yeah? Like, trust me.
Saturday will be huge. No, but to be honest, Saturday will be make or break. Make or break. Because if we lose...
No, I'm saying if we win, though, let's be positive about... What are you doing, Tony? Why am I saying Tony?
He's got himself a drink. Oh, nice one. He's going bottles up. No, listen, you make a good point. And as I said, to be fair, against Arsenal, if we win, it'll all be great again. And if we lose, that's it. It's like the end of the world, because we just don't lose to Arsenal at home. Under Mourinho, never happened. Hopefully, never will.
It'd be a massive win, and I think it would give everyone such a massive lift if we were to win that game.
Yeah. Louis just lost it. That's it. Louis gonna go.
I do not want Louis. I do not want another rant from you on Saturday. Literally, I can't bet. There's gonna be another highest viewed video, and it's gonna be about Chelsea beating Arsenal.
What if we lose? Would you not lose? Oh no, actually, to be fair, no, hang on. Why am I even saying this? I've never said we're gonna lose to Arsenal at the Bridge, and now we're at that stage. I can't believe it. Yeah, positive. All right, think positive.
No, I'm not. I don't think I'm being deluded though. I'm not saying that we're gonna smash Arsenal 4-0. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not saying that we're gonna roll them over. It's just the easiest thing. We've got to get past the Wednesday against Tel Aviv, because that's a big game, Champions League. And I'm just saying, if we can get our I think, as I say, Wednesday is very key. If we don't have a good result on Wednesday, pressure will rise, and then I won't be saying that we're going to beat Arsenal on Saturday, because I can promise you, if we don't get a good result against Tel Aviv, I'm going to be like, no, there's no chance of us beating Arsenal on Saturday. So I'll say that right now, and I'll stick to that. You can hold me to that. If we don't win on Wednesday, I'll exactly say the same thing. I'm saying, yeah, if I see a good performance, bear in mind against probably not the strongest opponents, but if we can get a good performance, our players look to some sort of back to some sort of form, then yeah, I'm going to be a bit more positive about Saturday, sure, and I think we all are.
Yeah, he makes a good point. Lou, I don't know how you're coping with your drinking at the moment, but Tel Aviv, if we don't beat Tel Aviv, it's panic mode.
Oh yes, it is.
Yeah, okay, nice one.
It is panic mode. I don't know what to say anymore.
Look what Chelsea have done. They've got Louis drinking. I mean,
yeah, Diet Coke doesn't count, mate. Come on, let's have it right, all right?
All right, fair dues.
Be serious. Be serious. Getting me drinking, I'll be going down, getting a bottle of vodka, and just crying, just going, and then burning my throat as I do it, but I don't care because we're playing crap.
Wow, fair play. But a lot of people in the comments seem to be saying, I'll take a 0-0. Would you take a 0-0 against Arsenal?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I would. I'm not sure I'd be happy with 0-0 at home. Even in the form, I swear a dog just walked into Louis' room.
Yeah, a dog just walked into my room.
Literally, a dog just walked in. The dog wants to become the star of the show. But no, I think that I'm just going to be so depressed if we don't win on Saturday, man.
That's true.
I can't go back to school. I'm going to go live on a mountain, and
do you know what? I was so close to going into hiding when Liverpool were about to win the league. Thank God Steven Gerrard decided to wear his banana shoes those days. I mean, like that day. I mean, that day at Anfield. I mean, thank God, because literally, like, I was going to go into hiding, and I think I may have to do the same if we don't get some sort of positive result on Saturday, man.
I mean, I don't know about you. I think one major thing, that if it gets resolved, our team are practically saved, and that's just our back four. If we're defensively, if we're good again, we have nothing to worry about, surely. But what does it take for our defense to just get good again? Because we've
also another
attribute.
Yeah. As I said, we've got to make those tactical changes, but also maybe something. I know we're kind of skipping over the Tel Aviv game, which I've said is very important, but I think everyone knows that Arsenal game is on the horizon. You know, it's literally just like waiting behind that Tel Aviv game. You know, it's like, and I think, you know, it's and at the moment it's looking like a terrible game. It's looking like going to be a terrible day. But Arsenal as well have psychologically don't like coming to the bridge in recent years, especially under Mourinho. So that could work in our favour. I just think what we've got to do in that game is get up in Arsenal's faces, do what we always do against them, ruffle them up, get the crowd going, put in some aggressive challenges, get on the back of Mesut Ozil, you know, be aggressive to those sort of players, the lightweight players in the Arsenal team, and you know, and try and do that sort of thing, because you know, and try and work on, and as I've constantly said, which I hope is the case, man. I don't know if it is going to be the case, but after that Community Shield game, I'm like, we're not going to play against Arsenal like that on the 19th of September, and you know, it's Saturday now, and we've been playing pretty awful since then. So, but you know, so we have been playing like that. But as long as I think Saturday could be a turning point, and I'm trying to keep as positive as I possibly can, because the thought of losing to them lot is just like not very nice.
Lou?
You got me drinking again.
No, I mean, look, I never thought it would get to the point where our game against the smallest team in our group in the Champions League suddenly, all of a sudden, feels really important. Like, I never thought I'd say that. You know, our Chelsea Tel Aviv is going to be crucial. I can't believe that. But it's true. You know, we're going to play against Tel Aviv, and we have to put in a performance just to calm everything down. And if we don't, it'll be panic mode, literally, from everybody, including ourselves. Now you got to admit.
I did say that at the beginning, didn't I? I think we have to perform against Tel Aviv. That is, you know, it sounds so stupid saying it. I mean, I'm hearing myself say it, and I'm going, what am I saying?
Yeah.
But it's true. If we don't perform against Tel Aviv, what chances do we have?
Exactly.
This is my deluded scouse a bit coming out. We did lose 4-2 to Bradford on a Saturday, and then beat Liverpool the next Tuesday. So
fair play. Okay. I mean, I'll take that. If it means beating Arsenal, I'll take it.
I was supposed to be the intelligent one on this panel, but it's going downhill, so I'm starting losing.
I didn't know you were a Dalek, Daniel.
Mate, you've gone all Dalek.
What the hell? What's going on?
Oh no, you're back now. You're back. You went all Dalek.
No, what? No, basically, no. I was saying I was supposed to be like the kind of one that knew his stuff on this panel, but now I've just like, since we started losing, it's all gone downhill. I'm turning into deluded scouser, man.
Oh mate. Well, I hope your deluded scouse, you know, persona stays, because we kind of need it right now.
I don't want it to stay. I want to be that Chelsea fan that annoys a load of people and like beats them with facts, and, you know.
That's Louis' job now.
Brilliant.
No, Louis' job is to tell people how to do their job. You know, that's the.
Yeah, that's true. You do your effing job.
That's Eunice's face when I said that. I was just like, okay.
Hold it now, all right, mate. You keep going. You keep going like this. Nah. Fingers crossed we just don't lose to Tel Aviv. In terms of, let's say, Oscar playing, Ivanovic not playing, or even if they do, what's your score prediction? Just for Tel Aviv?
Me or him?
Oh, well, go on, Lou.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't make a prediction. Right now, I would. If it was like last season, I go right 3-0, bang, straight away.
Now,
I don't know. Just with form, it's just I can't. I don't know what to expect.
Dan, have you got
I'm
one?
gonna go Chelsea. I'm just sounding so deluded.
You've watched
No,
Chelsea
I
5,
think
Tel Aviv nil. It's gonna be amazing.
Chelsea 7. I'm gonna rinse out. Actually, I want to rinse out someone here. RKT, one of my mates. He's a Liverpool fan, and he predicted that Liverpool were gonna go to United and smash them 4-0, and we know how that turned out. So who's really the deluded scouter here? But shout out to his channel. Go and check his channel. No, I predict Chelsea 3, Tel Aviv 0. And why do I sound deluded saying that? Because of course Chelsea should beat Tel Aviv 3-0, but at the moment it sounds deluded because of who are playing.
Why does that
How is
sound
that?
deluded?
Yeah, it just because of the form we're in. But I'll go 3-0 Chelsea. I think. I just hope. I want to see us play sort of convincing, and sort of just certain players turn up on the night and we make the tactical changes that are needed that everyone is crying out for, and they're so obvious. We've been through them so many times this season. I want Falcao to start, and I want him to get a goal because I think, and then we have a conundrum on our hands of who we play on Saturday, which is a positive. I think it's positive because, and I think give the youth a chance on Wednesday. Give at least one of them a chance, and I think that one's evidently clear, which is for me Loftus-Cheek. Give him a chance. Give him a chance to play, to start in a Champions League game, and see what he does. But then some people will go, "Why play him? It's a risk," But then I think, look at the players we put in there, and they haven't performed, have they? So
yeah, that's true.
What really have we got to lose?
That's true. Louis, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Play the youth. Start Falcao. I'm interested. I don't know where Remy's gone.
Yeah.
No, he's still standing. He's still standing a mile offside on the Wembley pitch. That's where he is.
No, but I think Oscar. They'll bring back Oscar. Oscar should start.
Yeah.
Against Tel Aviv, sort of to get him back in the flow. And I think we really have missed him. So if he performs against Tel Aviv and we start, if we do win something like 3-4-0 or something like that, know that is the reason we haven't been playing well, because we haven't had a creative player who isn't direct. Who Fabregas is like, yeah, I'm going to hit the ball, but I'm just going to make sure that it just gets the first man, so they can have timing to get in front of you and then hit it away. Because I like doing that because it's funny. But I think Falcao, Hazard, Oscar, maybe Willian. I'd save Pedro for Arsenal. I think. So he feels a bit better. What of? He feels a bit better now, Pedro. Yes, I feel better now. Matic, Loftus-Cheek,
and then
Baba,
Aspi,
Baba, Aspi, Terry, Zuma, Begovic.
Good team.
I know it is.
I'm gonna go with John Terry here in the comments. He's gone, and if this happens, not only will Chelsea be back, but rejuvenated. Fabregas, 1-0 to the Mighty Blues, and he kisses the badge, and that's against Arsenal.
Oh, mate.
Mate, if he did that, Stamford Bridge would be rocking.
I want us to be. The vision I have is us being 2-0 up or whatever with 60 minutes, like we usually are against Arsenal. And it'd be like we're getting closer to the win, and then everyone, just the whole stadium, starts singing the Fabregas song, because we haven't sung it really this year because we haven't had a chance to, because of the way he's been playing. And because we haven't been able to find him on the pitch, but I could just imagine that scene of everyone singing that song, and what? Why is Siri interrupting me?
I have no idea. Siri
wasn't sure what you said.
Siri wasn't sure what I said. No, I think that I could just imagine that image of everyone singing the Fabregas song with the Arsenal fans there and us winning 2-0, and him having a big part to play in that match. But it's so tough at the moment. I don't know. It's so tough. It's fingers crossed at the moment, because it's so tough to kind of make because making a tactical analysis, it's kind of got past that now because we've been making a tactical analysis at City and we said this is what needs to be changed and it hasn't been changed since then. So it's like,
No.
what else can you really do? You know, it's like we've got
Yeah.
past tactical analysis because the glaring errors are there. They just haven't been fixed and they haven't been changed with the personnel that's supposed to be brought in. So that's kind of my opinion. So it's kind of got past kind of the in-depth tactical analysis that people like to do because we've been over it on here so many times. It's just a case of now thinking, let's hope Jose makes the changes and then see what happens.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. All I can say, hopefully we win on Wednesday. A win would just help. And if we go to Arsenal and win, and if Fabregas were to score, that'd be a dream come true. But as long as we're beating Arsenal, I'm happy. But anyway, that's been Daily Blues for tonight, guys. Thank you all for watching and leaving all your comments. Much appreciated. Guys, Daniel, Louis, thank you for both coming on.
No problem at all.
Much
Enjoy it.
appreciated. And tomorrow we will give you all the build-up in terms of the Tel Aviv game on Wednesday. So, tomorrow be sure to catch more Daily Blues and be sure to catch all the footage during the week. I think just before the Arsenal game, some videos will be coming along, hopefully with Arsenal Fan TV as well. And we'll preview the game on the weekend to Arsenal. Hopefully Robbie and co don't get too cocky because we got the Yokohama curse. But fingers crossed. Again, guys, thank you for coming on. Check out their Twitters and Daniel's YouTube, Son of Chelsea, @Son-of-Chelsea. Louis is @Louis the Boogaloo. Feel free to check out all the 100% Chelsea social media links in the description below. And all of us will see you really soon. Subscribe if you're new. And have a good night, guys. Take care, and you guys can sign off.
See you guys. Thanks for stopping by.